welcome to another episode of Bitcoin Wednesday. I'm your host, Brian. Vance should be joining us soon. We'll get started. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. It's been an interesting week. Everything's been staying pretty calm and stuff since last week. We had a really good show last week talking a lot about electroneum and XRP. And we've had the XRP Swell Conference what did it start, yesterday or whatever? Maybe yesterday, today. I haven't been following it too much. Apparently nothing has really come out of it too big a deal. You know, usually they're expecting big news. The price soars right before it, but then it tends to go down a little bit, which is what we've kind of seen with Ripple XRP today. It's currently at 53 cents, but it did go up to about 59 cents or so, I believe, and then it's kind of fallen back a little bit, and but that's where we're sitting right now. So not too much news really happening there. I didn't think so. The same thing happened last year. There was all this hype about the conference, and it was a big letdown by the time the conference ended, and nothing happened. However, a couple months later, XRP was at over $3. So that's just, I don't get too hyped about the conferences and things like that. I usually tend to, the old saying of buy the hype and sell the news. It's kind of what happened, I think. People were believing what they were hearing. They were like, we got to get in because there's going to be some big news and XRP is going to explode and I'm going to regret it if I don't. Well, people get in, the price drives the price up. Nothing happens at Swell Conference. Bill Clinton shows up. He talks about what a great president he was and yada, yada, yada. The price goes down. So no big news. A little bit I heard of, some have are implementing XRapid, which is XRP's payment system or whatever for cross-border payments and transferring payments among banks and stuff. And so that's good news. They keep adding more banks, and I think XRP is doing a lot of stuff under the table that we don't know about. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying out of the news of the ordinary people. It's like the bear market this year. It's been pretty low since January, and some companies are in there working and they don't care what the price is right now because they're working, they're hard, they're getting their product out. And so when the bull market comes back, they've got a product and people want to put money into it. And I think there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are out there that still don't have a product. I mean, we talk about the top 50 coins and probably only 25 of them actually have some kind of product. And of those that have a product, how many actually have a working product? I don't know. So, but we do know that electroneum is now in the top 50 coins with a working product. So very, very exciting. Let's just see, where is electroneum currently at? It was at, looks like it's currently sitting at 46. And so that's good. In the top 50, has a working product, has an instant payment system. It's in beta right now. It's ready to come out any day. They're gonna turn it on, make it live. I can't wait. It's exciting. It's super exciting, people, because now you're going to be able to actually make payments with crypto instantly. And I don't know of another case where you can do that. They might take it, but it's not going to confirm when it's going on the blockchain and stuff. So it is this instant payment system of Electroneum, the way they've got it set up, is very, very cool. So definitely excited to see where that goes. Also, Electroneum will be starting on their marketing this month. We don't know exactly when, but this company is a marketing company. And they have done huge marketing for big companies and have been very successful. And so they have not done any marketing for Electroneum at all. And so most of the Electroneum marketing has been done by YouTubers and people writing articles and things like that, and they've done a very good job and been able to sustain the coin. This little bit of beta testing they came out on the instant payment system, man, it really, Electroneum was at 0.5 cent, and it jumped right up to 2.5 cents or whatever. So, very, very cool to get that going. So, anyways, I'm excited for that. Looks like my partner in crime decided to get out of bed. I don't know if I want to bring him in. I'll just talk bad about him for a minute before I bring him in, because he can't really defend himself. He's sitting here in the guest section waiting to come on, anxiously smiling, grinning, Probably using not so good words to describe me, but welcome to the program. Finally,
I made it.
How are you?
Good, man.
Just going off, talking a little bit about what's going on in the crypto world and things that we're doing. And so, anyways, so I was just talking a little bit about the show last week. We had a lot of good stuff to talk about. XRP and electroneum both doing very well, having good weeks. I mentioned the Swell conference. Just is today the last day of it? I can't remember. Was it yesterday?
I think
today?
So. I think it just went Monday, yesterday, and ended today.
Okay. So last year this time I was still had quite a bit of Ripple. I was still invested in Ripple, and the Swell conference came. It was supposed to be good news, all this good stuff, and it was decent. But the news, it's never as good as what you would hope for.
Yeah.
So the price didn't go up; it went down a little bit, and we see that today. Ripple is a little bit down from where it has been. I think it's at 52 cents. I said,
Actually,
but that's all right.
It did end yesterday. Sorry, it did.
Did it?
I just looked. Yeah, I just went and looked at their events. Yeah,
and you don't hear much about it. Bill Clinton spoke. He talked about it, how good he was, and things like that. There's really no substance to his endorsement of this.
Other than the fact that he said that the government needs to stop being so against it and just get some regulation and move forward, basically. He did basically say that, kind of what a lot of us have been thinking. So nothing real new about it other than there needs to be some rules made, and so we can move forward and stop hindering.
And what's the biggest rule? What's the biggest thing that needs to be done on it? KYC. Know your customer. In order to be able to do business with businesses and interact with people other than cryptocurrencies, you've got to get out and be able to offer it to businesses, right?
Right.
And if businesses can't take it because there's the KYC rules and the AML, anti-money laundering rules, they're not going to touch it. And that's what we talked a little bit about last week with Electroneum being huge, because they now have KYC in place, anti-money laundering in place. They're about ready to start their marketing. They got the instant payment system out, yada. iOS app should be out this month. Cloud mining will be out this month.
Hopefully that gig will be out this month.
Gig. There's all kinds of stuff that has everything in the making for Electroneum to have a huge month, in my opinion. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. It's funny because you said to me, was it this morning that you sent me a text and said we're all in the red again for Bitcoin Wednesday?
Yeah.
Because every Wednesday that's what it seems to be. And so
luckily we've come back green a little bit. So yeah.
When I looked at my phone a little bit ago, it was in the green, and that's great. It's a 24-hour period change, and so that means we're getting out of that. We've gone past the 24 hours where we're starting to improve a little bit, and so which I have seen improvement as I looked at my portfolio and stuff. That's what I try to judge it by a little bit, rather than the 24-hour. Is my portfolio up or down? As soon as I click on it, is it going to go up or down? And it's gone up a little bit today, so that's good. A lot of things are in the green right now. So, but like I said, they might have been in the red a little bit too much, and now they're starting to escape that and get into green. But anyway, so what do you know? Anything good going on you've heard?
I don't know. Tell you if anything good or not is going on, but we've had a little bit of news. Talk about the CFTC at all?
I didn't. No.
Okay. Well, we had news. When was it? Monday, about CFTC talking about how they're saying Bitcoin's a commodity now. So, there's one little bit of news there. We've got. Sorry, I was just looking at my phone there, seeing because it keeps getting pop-ups.
Which is great news. It's great news.
Yeah.
That it's a commodity.
It hasn't changed the market at all right now. Let's put it that way. But at least it's some type of ruling, other than the SEC. Let's put it that way. But that we're still waiting on. So I don't know. I mean, the news, I don't know. There's lots of news coming out, whether it's changing the market or not. We just don't see a lot of that anymore as quickly as we used to. But okay, so CFTC says crypto, or at least Bitcoin is a commodity. So we can look at that being traded as such, hopefully here in the near future. Right. Let's see what else. This morning, article this morning about TD Ameritrade, talking about how they're going to be getting in the crypto game. That's huge. That's just another stock exchange accepting the crypto space, the crypto market. So we'll have another stock exchange basically coming into the crypto market like all the rest of them. So, and that one, I see that one. I haven't looked into it as much, but I mean, TD Ameritrade is more like personal.
It's more like a Goldman Sachs and a, it's a big firm. I mean, TD Ameritrade's big.
It is a big firm, but the fact is that you can go and set up a personal account on it and not have to go through stockbrokers or anything like that. I see that as if they actually did have another crypto exchange, maybe on the side and not with their stock. I don't know how they're going to set up. We don't know. We haven't seen any of these Wall Street guys come out with their exchange yet. So we really don't know how they're going to play it. But let's say, I mean, it's personal. You can manage it personally instead of having to go through a stockbroker. Well, wouldn't that mean that you can just add fiat just like you would with stocks? To go buy stocks, to go buy fiat, or to go buy crypto. Right. So I kind of look at it as it might be another alternative to Coinbase. Out there to be able to put regular funds, cash funds, fiat funds, into the stock, into the stock market, or sorry, into the crypto market instead of the stock market, or along with the stock market. So maybe that'll be a good thing. I don't know. We have yet to see an ETF go through, and any of the Wall Street, any of the stock exchanges actually start doing anything with it yet. That's still what we're being told is to come this fall. But of course, everybody's still waiting on ETFs. Right. So,
hey Jake, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So when are we getting down to the next ETF vote? Is that the end of this month? End of October?
There's one this month. I just don't know when. Yeah. There was supposed to be one last month, but I think it got postponed.
Isn't that the one that's postponed until the end of this month, or
maybe that's what it is? Yeah.
So that'll be coming. I mean, one of these days, one of them's going to get approved, and then the rest are just going to follow. Because they're going to copy and paste the same thing. And so
right. And that's kind of the thing is, I think there's a lot of new money that wants to come in, but it's a little hesitant because they don't know what the SEC is doing. And that's where this is where a majority of the investors here in the U.S. and cryptocurrency investors here in the U.S. really wish the SEC would just make up their minds, man, and do something. At least give us an idea of what you're planning on doing. Don't just keep going, oh, that wasn't good enough, and then postpone it again. Because that's where everybody's kind of sitting there going, well, we don't know what to do. I mean, the Winklevoss twins, they stopped. That they tried. Then they tried again, and then they're just kind of like, screw this. I guess it's just they don't want us, maybe, is what it is. Yeah. Let's let someone else try it. So they haven't gone back and retried doing anything since then. They've just let everybody else go in and try theirs, and they've all been denied or postponed or something. So, what is it that's really happening? I don't know. I mean, I've heard that it's just that they're not the normal brick and mortar shirt and tie suit guys. So that's why they don't want them in there, because they don't want someone in flip flops and t-shirts, and stuff like that. So,
and that's the thing. I think they just don't know. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what they're doing. Yep. It's the bureaucratic game of let's pass it along and hold out as long as we can. So nobody has to make a decision. And, they're looking for answers, because I'm sure they're getting hounded on what's going on. Make up your mind, get it done. And they're trying to figure out, well, if we get it done, what do we need to do how do we regulate it? How do we do that? They just don't know, Right. So I think they're in a tough place, and
But the rest of the world is out there actually meeting and making decisions and actually saying, okay, we need to legalize crypto. I mean, there was a big thing about that this week in South Korea, saying that, the crypto or South Korean government is basically coming out, going to be saying, okay, crypto is legal. There shouldn't be any issues with it. We'll just put our KYC in place and be done with it.
Right.
That's kind of what we're starting to see over there. So there are other countries out there that are basically like, no, let's get this done and out of the way, because why? The country can actually profit off of this. Let's just get it through and get moving, and then when it comes to the US government, they don't do anything fast ever. So this is what we're dealing with the SEC. It's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen this year, the way things are going. I can't see it moving quickly right now. Everything is just taking so long. It's just painstaking right now. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I don't have a crystal ball to see what the SEC is going to do. So,
and that's the thing.
Hurry up and wait situation.
That's the thing about it, is you just don't know. And just like last year, it kind of hummed along, and then all of a sudden, boom, it takes off.
But I mean,
what's the magic pill that does it? I don't know.
Right. And so but we see the big wigs. I mean, we see the CEO from Coinbase. We see the guys, the executive team from Ripple. We see all these guys that are like, come on, you need to stop the delay. What's the delay? You need to be moving on this. And basically they're going off and talking with other countries about it to go get it passed and get it legal and get it with banking, with banking systems and everything else with other countries. Because why? They're like, we just can't put up with the US government on this anymore. We can't put up with the SEC. They don't want to do anything. So that's fine. We'll go do it in another country and get it done. So, what was the Coinbase? The latest thing on Coinbase is there looks like they're going to be opening up an exchange in Europe as one of their big pushes right now. So they're actually looking to open up overseas, which will be good for them and everything. So, I mean, it'll be good for them, because we still don't know why they're not adding more crypto coins here, currency and coins and things like that, tokens here. They've waited on the SEC long enough, but it's kind of funny. The CEO for Coinbase, he basically gets asked to go to other countries so that their governments can talk to him about what they need to be doing with crypto. So he's actually advising other country governments and things. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on outside the US, just not in the US. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
So hurry and wait game, right?
Yeah. Hurry up and wait.
Right. So there's a little bit of news going on. I haven't even had a chance to talk about any numbers yet. So let's go through the numbers real quick.
All right.
They are October 3rd. Looks like the market cap is $219 billion, almost $220 billion, which is up about $4 billion from last week. So headed in the right direction a little bit. Bitcoin's at 6583 is what I wrote down. So it's only up about $62 from last week. And it did go up about 67 or something, I think, and it's also been in the 64 range.
Yeah, because
the
market cap was the market cap was like 225 there for a little bit.
Right.
It was a little higher than where it's at right now. Last week.
But it likes to go down right before our show, so that's the problem,
that's kind of what it is. So, but I mean, looking at the 24-hour change, though, we are seeing good movement coming back. So Bitcoin's up almost 1.5% right now. That's good movement for Bitcoin.
Yeah,
1.5%.
Good little movement there on the graph, So
yeah, I mean, Ethereum's up 2%, XRP's up 3.5%. Those are good movements.
Yeah.
The big boys.
It's in the right direction, but it's funny too when you look at that 7-day graph over there. Man, they all just look so much alike. Very similar.
Yeah.
And then you get down to some like electroneum. doesn't look anything like theirs. You know,
Where are
it's
we at?
it's really
We're 46. Okay,
46.
so we've come up a little bit. We were actually down to 48, 49. So we've come up a little bit again. 46. We're over 2 cents, and we're up almost 4% today. But is that graph sideways?
Yeah, look how level it is.
Last 5 days, we're just sideways the whole time.
And before the little boom, that's exactly how it was too. And exactly, it's stable, that's what business partners and stuff want to see. And I mean, we want to see it keep growing and stuff, which it will. I'm excited for the month. I'm excited for marketing and for the different things coming out. So
yeah,
it will be exciting. But so that's Bitcoin, like I said, and the dominance is at 51.8. So it's come down a little bit. We saw it up around 56, 57% there for a while. So yeah, it's coming back down. We've got some money coming into the market, and it is spreading out a little bit amongst some of the altcoins and stuff, and not just all staying in Bitcoin. So
yeah,
that's good. That's good. Very good. I'm trying to think what else there was. So I listened to a couple of videos today while I was out driving around and stuff, and one of them was the Modern Investor, and he was talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin ownership. You know, and we've talked about this before. Litecoin's, what's his name? Charlie Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, talking about that everybody should own a Bitcoin. If you got the means, buy a Bitcoin or whatever. And it was kind of the same conversation today about people owning Bitcoin, because they've done a lot of research on it. And, we know that about 4 million coins have been lost. We know that Satoshi Nakamoto had about 1 million coins that in the wallet that has never happened. Nothing's happened to him in years. So they believe those might be lost. There is a finite supply of 21 million coins. And we're already talking about 5 million of them being lost. Possibly.
Yeah. So it only puts 16 million total in circulation, if that's truth. And how many are in circulation right now? We're looking at the trade volume today was 3.9 million, but the circulating supply is
17,303. Yeah. So we're.
How does that equal out? Oh, because five of that 17 million is lost. So the true number then is 12 million circulating supply right now, and they say
of that they say that really there's probably only 2 million circulating, meaning being bought and sold and stuff every day. The rest of it is people are holding it and hanging on to it. So he talked about the fact that if you bought, or the magic number to do very, very well would be 0.29 of a Bitcoin.
So a quarter Bitcoin, basically.
Or a third of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said there will not be, that will be when Bitcoin is when all 21 coins are out there and it's done, because that's the total supply, 21 million. When it reaches that point, that's about as much as people are going to be able to get. They think, or something to that effect, that you'll lucky to own 0.29 of a Bitcoin. And right now that's about $1,300 investment to get that.
Okay.
So they're talking about it being, Bitcoin being huge. Because once people realize that there's a small amount of Bitcoins out there, and there's not going to be enough for everybody, it's going to go crazy,
Yeah. Well, at some point, I swear, the same guy, the Modern Investor, I swear at some point I did hear that, or he said, I don't know, maybe someone else said it. It's been a while since I've heard it, but basically that back when Charlie Lee stated that everybody should own one Bitcoin, that with all the wallets out there, if everybody tried to buy one Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough to go around. At least with the current circulating supply, there's more wallets than there is circulating supply of Bitcoin. So if everybody wanted to buy one Bitcoin, you basically couldn't do it.
Right.
Because there's more wallets out there using. And of course, how many Bitcoin wallets do you have? So I know. I
On
know
exchanges too. I mean,
what's that?
the exchange ones don't count. You're not talking about on the exchanges, right?
Well, that's a Bitcoin wallet. That's a wallet. They're counting wallets. It's a wallet on an exchange. But the thing is, if you've gone into an exchange and you haven't put anything of Bitcoin in there, then you don't have a Bitcoin wallet on that exchange. There hasn't been an address assigned to you yet. Okay.
Right.
But let's say you were using Cryptopia, Binance, and Coinbase. Okay. And you've actually bought and sold with Bitcoin other coins on there. So let's say you were buying Electroneum on Cryptopia, right? But then you went and bought Ethereum or something on Binance, right? But then you originally bought in with fiat on Coinbase. Well, that means you've got 3 wallets. Okay. I think I've got 10 wallets that I've actually used across different platforms. Okay. Just because I have wallets, I have my Nano wallet, and stuff like that. So I've got different wallets. I think I've got 10. So, and I'm not a big trader, but bigger trader guys will probably have more than that, to tell you the truth. So I don't know, how many wallets out there are duplicates, but let's just say the amount of wallets out there with the current circulating supply, you wouldn't know what, there's not enough Bitcoin to go around if everybody wanted to buy one Bitcoin. But the fact is, we know a lot of those are duplicate wallets because they're all owned by one person type of deal. Right. So, I mean, you just gotta look at it that way. But with more and more people coming in, well, that's going to get even less and less and less.
Yeah.
So I can see why they're saying 0.29.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I was driving and stuff and paying attention the best I could and stuff. But it was that fact that, Bitcoin, once people really start to realize this is gonna be hard to get. It's like a pile of gold over there. It's gonna be hard to get. So, anyways, I just thought I thought it was it was a good conversation on that today, and and again, it makes me realize that he's like, if you're in it right now, you are lucky. You are so lucky to be in it right now. If you have a little bit of Bitcoin and some things, I mean, because it's just so new still, and even though it's been around a little bit, this 9 years. This bear run we've had this year since January has taken a lot of people out. So if you're in it and have been buying when stuff is low, you've just been able to accumulate more coins and stuff like that. And when it does hit the bull run, you're going to be good. So,
yeah.
And maybe the bull run doesn't start till middle of next year. I don't know. We don't know, but we know it's got to come. We know Electroneum is going to be doing some stuff, and I think that's going to start, moving pretty good here soon.
When their marketing starts this month, that we will see some movement. That's just to be expected because they're going to announce a lot of partnerships when they start that marketing. And so there's going to be use case for it, and there's going to be some need for it, which we've already started to see. That's why it's moved up from 0.5 cent, and we've been sitting steady at 2 cents right now. So that is going to move up, especially when they start that marketing, because it's going to start hitting a lot more people that way. So we're going to see some change on it, which will be good. But that's not the bull run.
No, okay? that's just Electroneum doing their marketing.
That's just Electroneum doing their thing. Okay, doing their work that they need to be doing. The bull run that we're talking about is actually when other markets start bringing in money and start investing money. Okay, of course we know it's going to hit Bitcoin first because that's where all the ETFs are going for is Bitcoin. That's where basically that's where everybody buys in at is Bitcoin. Right. That's why. What did you say the market rate was with them right now?
With Bitcoin,
51.9% the dominance.
Oh, so right.
Yeah, that's why it is 51.9% dominance. 52% is because everybody's buying in and out with Bitcoin. Okay, once that becomes less and less that you have to do that, that'll go down. But the fact is, we know that that's where it's going to hit first. So if we see Bitcoin jumping up real quick, well, we know it's just going to trickle down to everything else. We know how that's going to work. But again, we're seeing movement on coins lately. The two big ones that we talked about last week, of course, were XRP and with with electroneum, and it's because those companies are doing a lot more groundwork than everybody else right now. I mean, there are a lot of coins out there doing groundwork with different programs, different, different platforms, different things like that. But we do see like XRP just launched XRapid. They went from 33 cents. They're sitting at 53 cents. So that's actually a huge gain for them in just a little over, a week and a half time. I think they went from 33 cents to 53. Actually, they went a lot higher than that. It settled at 53 cents. That's where we've settled. It was up to 72 cents, and it went from 27 cents on that run to 72 cents. Okay, it flipped, and then it's come back. But let's just say, I mean, we're sitting at 53 cents. I mean, that's double in value. Okay, so if you bought 2 weeks ago at 27 cents, you've doubled up. But at the same time, if you bought electroneum 2 weeks ago, you're 4 times what you were at.
Yeah.
Because it was half a cent. Now it's 2 cents. So we've seen some those are the 2 big movers that we have been looking at lately, because why? They've had the most news behind them. They've had the most work behind them. And we can see there's most investors. There's more investors going into those right now. So that's why we like to talk about them.
Yep.
So,
well, cool. I'm trying to think what else. Anything else you saw in the news that's caught your attention? It's been a really steady market the last week. Really steady.
Gemini now, right, which is the Winklevoss twins, by the way, out in California. Their exchange now has insurance. So if you're keeping crypto in their they're called hot wallets or something like that, is what it's called. I don't use Gemini just because they haven't been in Arizona. They just got verified or certified last month to be actually an exchange in the state of Arizona. And if you don't understand that, it's because every state in the U.S. is kind of like their own country when it comes to crypto rules. Right. So they have to get licensed in every state to be able to do business. And anyway, the Winklevoss twins own and manage Gemini Exchange. And anyway, they just announced this week that basically any funds that you keep in their hot wallets are now covered by insurance. So basically, you're okay to keep coins there, keep your currency there, and not worried about being hacked because they have insurance policy in place over that now. Which is a first. That's awesome, another first. You haven't heard of that before,
That's awesome.
But that's another piece of news this week. Abra. You want to talk about Abra?
Oh yeah, talk about the Abra app.
Okay, so Abra.
Read up on it a little bit more.
Yeah, the Abra app. Basically, I thought this was kind of interesting. The Abra app is just like Circle, the Circle app, or the Cash app, basically, where you can deposit funds directly from your bank account, just like you would on Coinbase. But it's all an app on your phone, and you can buy cryptocurrency. Okay. Now the Cash app, you can only buy Bitcoin. You can't buy anything else. It's just Bitcoin. And then with the Cash app, you can actually send that back and forth to friends who have the Cash app on their phones. Quick, easy, and free. Okay. Circle is another big one. And I don't remember who's Circle owned by, Brian. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't have that written down here. Anyway, they're actually owned by a larger financial institution. I cannot remember what it is off the life of me right now. I just haven't looked at it forever. But basically, you can go in. They're only in the United States. So anybody outside the U.S., sorry, Cash App is only in the U.S. Circle is only in the U.S., okay? But you can basically buy the top 10 currencies on CoinMarketCap on the Circle app, okay, with USD fiat. You link it into your bank account, and you can just transfer it directly that way, okay? Abra is kind of the newer one to this game, but they've been out all summer. They just announced this morning that basically they are doing, it's called BIT10, and it's basically it's an index coin that basically consists of the top 10 traded cryptocurrencies by market cap. Okay, so you can go in and buy these tokens, and the minimum is $5. So I think it's each token is $5, or the minimum investment to buy these tokens is $5. I haven't gone in to try and buy it myself yet because they just announced it this morning. Now, here's the thing. Circle has been doing this with the 10 coins that they've been trading on their little mobile exchange. Okay. Mm-hmm. These are called OTC, or kind of over-the-counter trading is basically what this is looked at. Okay. So anyway, now Abra, which by the way is much larger than Circle because they have 25 coins. I went and looked today. There's actually 27 now. They've added a few more. So they have the top 27 cryptocurrencies by market cap. And they're in multiple countries. They take over 35 different types of fiat on their app. So if you're in another country, you can actually use the Abra app to go and buy currency. But they have one called BIT10 now, which is the top 10 by market cap cryptocurrencies. And you can go buy one of these index tokens for $5, and it's spread across the top 10 currencies. So if you want to go put $100 in, it would be spread across from Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any of these.
Is that by the percentage of?
The thing is, I saw
$10 each, or is it going to do?
No, if you're spending $5 to buy one of these tokens and it's spread across the top 10, I don't know what the percentage is that it gets put into each one of these coins. Okay. So I'm not really sure how it spread across. The email was pretty simple, just saying that if you weren't sure which coins to be buying at the time, we'll take the uncertainty out, buy our index coin, and we'll spread it across the top 10. So that you're buying a little bit of each coin and basically holding it as part of this index token. Okay. We've heard of some other places that have started doing this too. I know that Token Pay was one of them, and we talked about that one last week as well. I think we've talked about that the last 2 weeks. But if you don't remember who Token Pay is, they're the cryptocurrency that bought a bank in Germany. Okay, and since then they've actually partnered with a few other banks. I know one of them is a Swiss bank, and Token Swiss, I think, is what they're calling that one. But anyway, you can buy certificates with them that do the same thing. And they consist of like a certain percentage of Bitcoin, a certain percentage of Ethereum. And they break it down by the coins that are in those certificates. And then you're a certificate holder that you can cash it in for those amounts at any time at a later date. Okay. But it's an easy way to get in and do this without having to be worrying about ETFs right now.
Right.
Things like that. I mean, there's still ways for you to invest, not in specific coins, but maybe across the coins equally. This is one of those. So BIT10 index coin, or index currency, or token is what it is. It's an index token. Sorry. Basically with the Abra app. So there's one you can go in and try. I think that's pretty interesting that we're starting to see really some investment opportunities come out other than, oh, I didn't get into this ICO and I missed out, or everybody needs to go buy one Bitcoin. Well, not everybody can afford $6,700 for one Bitcoin. Okay. And the thing is, you're like, well, if I'm into Bitcoin, that means I can't buy XRP because I put all my money into Bitcoin, or I can't buy EOS or Stellar or Ethereum or Monero or any of those like that. Right. So, but the thing is, with the index, you can put an amount in and spread it evenly over these coins. And then that way you're taking the average, or the group average, I guess is what you're taking the percentage change in the group. So it can play off in your benefit, especially if one of them blows up higher than one of the other ones, because you won't miss out on that. So there's some opportunities out there. And even at $5, that's cheap. That's cheap. Really cheap to get in.
Yeah. And you put $100 in it, I mean, I hear radio guys all day long, you got to put $100 in crypto just to have it. That would be a good way to spread out that $100 just by being in the top 10.
Yeah, because I mean that would basically be $10 per coin in the top 10. Yeah. So
I got to guess that it'd be a percentage wise. I mean, like the Bitcoin might be 60% of that. I don't know, 50% of that. Ethereum 20%. Like, you know, those things like that, kind of based on that. But I don't know.
Right. But
Maybe
but
this
think
dog
about
is
it
on.
though. If by market cap, guys, the top 10 consist of basically 80% of the total market cap.
Yeah.
Okay. Those top 10 coins, you're by investing $5 or $10 or $100, whatever you're going to do, into those top 10 coins, you're basically betting on 80 per. You're doing the top 80%. Well, it's not the top 80%. It's just 80% of the total market cap. By
Right.
doing that. So I mean, that's actually a really good investment. You can't do that in the stock market. There's no way
No,
you
you
can
can't.
spend $100 and have it spread across 80% of the total stock market. I mean, that's just not going to happen. But that's actually a really easy thing to do right now with the crypto market, because it's still it's still in its infancy. You know, this is still a
Right.
little baby out there, still just trying to grow up, and we're just trying to get the rules out, so, to how it's going to grow. So we know it is going to grow, though. Yeah, I mean, it's grown leaps and bounds so far, but it's going to keep growing. It's not going anywhere. As Sean Davis always says, the technology will win. In the end, the technology is going to win.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, if you do your research on blockchain and what it does and what it has to offer and stuff like that, I mean, that's what we're talking about, really. Cryptocurrency tends to be a good use case study of it, and there's going to be some good ones that really make it, and there's going to be a lot of them that don't make it.
Right.
But there are a lot of uses for the blockchain and different types of things. It's just a matter of coming out with products and stuff that can make it useful. You know, different tokens and things like that. But
BIT10. It's an easy, safe bet going with the top 10 coins like that. I mean, that's kind of like your blue chip stuff. So
going into a mutual fund. I don't know which one I want. I don't know if I want to just buy Apple or whatever.
Right.
I want to spread it out amongst these. Okay, let's buy some Apple, some Google, some, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's great. It's not worrying about ETFs. The big thing about the ETFs is that will allow the money to go in, like we discussed earlier today. That'll bring in a lot of money. But it's still kind of a way around the ETF being able to invest.
And understand, those ETFs are only set for Bitcoin right now. They're just trying to get into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is now, from the CFTC, is basically a commodity. Okay, so that's getting your investment portfolio to be able to have a certain percentage of Bitcoin in it to help offset when stocks don't do as well, like this year, okay, or the stock market. So that's a good way to try and offset things. But what's going to happen is, once that ETF is approved for Bitcoin, then there's going to be other ones come behind it. I mean, they're going to do the same thing for Ethereum. It's just it's just going to be the nature of the way this goes. And then pretty soon it's going to be just for crypto as a whole. I'd almost see that happening, in the next couple of years. It would be, okay, it's not just going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. And since Bitcoin Cash seems to be the big payment, coin right now, I see a lot of news coming out for Bitcoin Cash being accepted as a payment, just like, a lot of the other ones are going for, like Litecoin's Lightning Network is trying to do, and Electroneum's Instant Pay, and things like that. So I see there's going to be more than just Bitcoin going to be rolled into these ETFs. I think that's just to get the market working. I mean, this is basically the beginning of the stock market type of deal. So, I mean, that's what we're looking at with this. So,
I think
that's quite interesting.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. There's, the market is stagnant, though. It's maintaining. It's not doing a whole lot. But there's these companies that are doing stuff behind the scenes, and you're right. Bitcoin Cash has been in the news a lot. There's been a lot of different articles about it, doing it. It's what they're doing and stuff as far as taking payments. A little bit different than instant payment system of Electroneum, but nevertheless, they're in it. They're working. They're trying to get some adoption, outside of crypto, and that's
Right.
what once we're able to get this and make it easy for people in the real world use cases, then it's going to allow a lot more money to come into cryptocurrency. But the problem's always been it's not easy. It's not easy to use it.
Right.
So it's not easy to buy it. It's not easy to trade it. It's not, what's this wallet that's got 50 different letters and numbers and combinations and stuff? Mm-hmm. That's my wallet.
Yeah. And then especially when you talk about mining, that just throws,
yeah.
That really confuses people. You can watch people's brains blow up when you're trying to explain, the blockchain and Bitcoin when they don't know anything about crypto at all. And you're just saying, oh yeah, you need to invest into Bitcoin, and they're like, and then you're trying to explain the technology. You can see people's eyes just glaze over sometimes, but yeah, it's, mining on the other hand, that's extremely expensive for Bitcoin right now. I mean,
yeah.
The cost to mine one Bitcoin is almost more than the price of a Bitcoin, just the current rate it's at. So, and that, that was another thing I heard this week talking about how we all know the issues going on down in Venezuela with the government, right. the coin and stuff like that. And we've talked about how, countries like that, people in countries like that, they should be trying to mine Bitcoin because, that would be one Bitcoin to them down there right now is like $1 million. That's how devalued the currency is that they have down there, just because it's so crazy. They're throwing their life savings for a loaf of bread, basically. But I did hear, I don't remember if it was last week or this week, talking about how, people would said, oh, well, they need to be mining Bitcoin. And there is people down there that are trying to mine to try and help the situation and stuff like that. But it's not Bitcoin. They're actually going after coins like Dash that are much easier to mine right now. So, in Dash, if you go, let's see, what's Dash at? Dash is $181 right now. So, that's dang near close to Ethereum, but
that's pretty low for Dash too.
But their market cap is much less than what we see those top coins that everybody's going after. Their circulating supply is still in the millions and everything, but there's a lot less Dash out there than there is a lot of other coins. It's just that it's easier to mine because everybody's fighting for the high cost items, those high ticket items, which is going to be like Bitcoin.
Right.
So, but I did hear that a lot of them have started to try and mine Dash down there. A lot of the guys that are trying to do mining, because it seems to be a little easier for them. And I don't know what the technology is like. I don't know how they're doing that down in Venezuela. I don't know, to tell you the truth, but it's been in the news that they're trying to mine for other coins other than the crazy, whatever the token was their government put out that's completely bombed and failed on them.
Man, Dash was up. I'm sorry, I was just looking at Dash for a minute. Dash was up to $1,600, so it's pretty low right now.
That was what was their peak was 1,600.
Yeah,
$1,600, and what was Ethereum's peak was 1,700.
I'm not sure it was that high, was it? I was thinking it was
I thought that their peak was like that, but let's go back and look. Their historical data.
Chart to pull up. And Ethereum, not very long ago, 2-3 weeks ago, Ethereum was at $175. So it's up to $225. That was very low, very good opportunity to buy Ethereum. But there was lots of bad news coming out about it, and stuff like that. What's going down, things like that.
Yeah. I think so. Going back to January 14th, they were at $1,400. So I think that's as high as they hit.
Yeah.
It's 1,400.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking at. 1389 is what I'm seeing. So, yeah, so it never even hit as high as Dash did, So.
Dash did, and it's still higher priced than Dash right now. But there's a lot more Ethereum stuff going on out there right now than there is Dash, I think. But
yeah, well, you look at the circulating supplies too. I mean, Ethereum's at 102 million, and Dash is at 8 million, a little over 8 million.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll see some things coming up this week and have some more stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah.
It seems like we've been talking a lot of just about Electroneum and XRP and stuff, but
yeah, but they've been the big movers last couple of weeks. That's where a majority of the news and everything is kind of hanging around are those two guys. So
right. So maybe we'll see what it'll be interesting to keep watching for the ETFs and different things. Different places now accepting cryptocurrency. Definitely, be looking into Electroneum. This 2 cents is still very, very cheap, and
especially when we know it can get a lot higher, just like all these coins, we know they can get a lot higher. They've been higher, so I mean, even 53 cents for XRP feels cheap, and we know they were over $3.
Yeah, almost $4 it seems like too, but
yeah, and 2 cents for Electroneum when we know it was at 20 cents. That's still there's such a big upside on these still. It's just crazy.
Yep. So, I agree. Well, all right. Should we call it a night?
Yeah, that's about all I've got for tonight. So
I'm tired, man. I got up early this morning and been running around all day and had to go to parent-teacher conferences today and tonight, and so I'm just beat. Now I got to go beat my kid. No.
There you go. Yeah, don't let anybody hear that, but sure.
Maybe something that would have happened to us in 20, 30 years ago, but I'm lucky he's got pretty good grades and is doing good, so I didn't have any uncomfortable parent-teacher conferences tonight. So
that's always good. That's always good.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's our show tonight. But thank you for tuning in and commenting. And like we say, we're in the future. I mean, if you've got questions, comments, throw them up in the chat on this. This will be on YouTube. It'll be on BIT10, and we do it live on Facebook. So you can join us all three places under the Crypto Millionaire Club. And yeah, basically it's the same on all three systems.
Yeah. So go in and like them. Smash that like button. Join the club.
Subscribe. You'll know every time we put this up. Every Wednesday night we're here. And we're not financial advisors in any way or means. We're just sharing the news that we see every week and basically how our portfolios are doing every week. So that's what we're looking at.
Our crypto journey.
That's right.
So the wild, wild west of crypto. So
yeah.
Right on. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Same place, same time.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
See you later.